Welcome to H2K Infosys. H2K Infosys is a e-verify business based in Atlanta, Georgia, United States. We provide 100% job-oriented, instructor-led, face-to-face, true live online software training programs. It also includes access to Cloud Test Lab with software tools. We provide live project for you to work on. We also provide assistance with mock interviews, resume preparation and review, and job placement assistance. H2K Infosys is trusted by so many students across the world. H2K Infosys provides world-class services in IT training with real-time project work for corporates and individuals, special IT training for MS students in the United States, software design, development, QA manual and automation, performance testing and maintenance, IT staff augmentation, job placement assistance, and tech support.
Okay. In today's class, we'll see about ICE integration, and we'll take a look at how to use the JDBC template, and we'll see how to do validation for the employee. Time persists, we'll start with design patterns. By the way, are you guys able to understand how to configure Hibernate with our Spring framework? Where exactly you didn't understand, Vijay?
I went through the video, like I want to go through the video once, but I tried to do on my own. I got into some trouble because maybe some jar files I did not import. I installed the IDE, but there was some error it was giving. So,
see, to work on Spring application, it's not required to have any kind of plugins. Even though if you got some plugin related issue, you can just leave that one and work on creating a normal dynamic web project. If there is an issue with the class file, like class not found exception,
maybe I'll show it after the class. So yeah, I'm getting the class not found exception. Yeah.
So then that means you are missing some jar file. So you can just take a look at the jar file.
I want to look at the jar. That's the reason I asked Tulsi which are the jar files we need. I think you sent a link, but I did not.
Yeah, the jar files, once you have downloaded, just place all of them within your WebINF lib location.
Only one place
you can see that. No, you can just place it WebINF lib. The build path, I just want you guys to make sure how to configure the build path. Normally, the build path configuration is not required. If you place it WebINF lib, that's fine. It will be working both at the compile time and runtime. You need to load the jar files related to JDBC, nothing but your MySQL. Once of that, you need to load the jar files for Spring and also the jar files for Hibernate. So take a look at what are all the jar files that are required for our Hibernate, and you need to load all of them. And also, anyway, you have downloaded Spring related jar files, so place those also under web-and-lib directory.
Where do we get this Hibernate jar files? The same thing which we got last time?
The same jar files which we have used for Hibernate application.
Okay.
Okay, let us start today's class with tiles integration. Not going to explain what is meant by tiles or how to write the layout page or definitions.xml file. Ultimately, you need to have all those stuff ready. The first one is layout.jsp, and the next one is tiles definitions.xml file, and also load the related jar files that are required for our tiles framework. Tiles framework is just like a plugin. You can incorporate that either in Struts application or in Spring application. So to work on tiles plugin, you need to use tiles configurer. Whether you guys get a chance to verify the PPT or not, if you guys verify the last page, you can see that for Spring MVC view resolver, there are several view resolvers available. Until now, we have used internal resource view resolver, which will resolve the path to the view based on prefix and suffixes. There are several other resolvers available. One more is tiles view resolver. See, the purpose of tiles is to have a better look and feel for your web page. So you can't use a normal resource view resolver, which will just make use of the prefix and suffix kind of stuff. You need to take the help of tiles view resolver, and tiles view resolver will render based on the layout.jsp which you have configured. So the first change which you are supposed to make, see, even with our struts framework also, we have added tiles plugin within struts config.xml, and we have informed tiles framework to start up. Whenever you have written the plugin, it will call the startup method of the tiles plugin, and it will initiate the tiles configuration. In the same way, here also you need to configure the tiles configurer, and the second thing is tiles configurer is just like a bean. So you need to configure this in your Spring config file. And the second step is you need to change your internal view resource resolver to tiles view resolver, because we are not going to use normal prefix or suffix based, and we want to resolve based on tiles framework. That's it. Those are the two changes that you are supposed to do, and once after that, you need to write the header and footer.jsp pages, and you need to specify that in your layout page. Let us go to our annotation solver.xml file. So here, instead of using internal resource view resolver, you need to use tiles view resolver. So here you can see that you are configuring tiles view resolver, and once after that you need to specify tiles configurer. This was available in org.springframework.webservletview tiles2.tilesviewResolver. No need to specify any prefix or suffix. Once you have specified this will contact tiles configurer. The tiles configurer also available in the same package. For tiles configurer, you need to provide a property which is nothing but your definitions XML file. So whenever the view resolver, come back to our controller. So whenever our controller responds with a success or date or any kind of normal strings, this time the string value, it is just like a definition name from your tiles definition.xml file. So currently place your tiles definition.xml file also under WebINF location. This is just like same as that of which we have used for struts application. Create a basic template, and once after that create all the child level templates by extending your basic template. Whenever you have responded with some string from your controller, let us say success, then the dispatcher servlet asks the tiles view resolver to provide the actual JSP page. Then tiles view resolver will contact the tiles configurer, because tiles configurer has the information about your definitions.xml file. Once you got the name, then it will go and look after the definition name, and it will render the JSP page based on this particular criteria. Currently login.jsp, and you are overriding all the remaining parts. This is how normally it will display the page. Let us go and run any of our JSP pages. Let us run our index.jsp page. You can see that header page got added, and your message and a button, and once after that your footer page. So my layout.jsp page, it consists of header block, body, and footer attribute. Header page, it just consists of a simple header which will display H2K Infosys main page. And the footer page, it will only display address of all rights reserved. You just need to write a CSS and arrange the page in such a way that it should go at the top down level, and also adjust this particular body part also based on your requirements. So now get date, you can see that the look and feel is same. Probably tiles configurer was not configured properly. That is our old definitions.xml file. I just changed some of the properties to accommodate our Spring application. You can just update this particular tiles definition.xml and resolve to the correct view. I'm not going to use tiles definition.xml file for rest of our class, so I'm just going to use only internal resource view resolver. To enable tiles view resolver, you just need to remove the internal resource view resolver and write the basic stuff, and you need to enable your tiles view resolver and tiles configurer. Those are the two changes that you need to make. Now come back to our login page. Run our welcome.jsp. One, Steve. It has displayed all the information. Yesterday we have verified only until this point. So once after this, let us say we want to update the details. We want to update the details and we want to send the request back to back to the controller, and then update the information directly to the database. So that means previously we have received the information based on request params. Our username or password, we just called login request, and we have used @request param annotation and @request param annotation for password, and we have retrieved those parameters. But it's not required for each and every time to retrieve the parameters based on request parameters. Here you can see that you have added your model attribute employee form, and you have sent this to the front end. So that means currently the front end consists of the employee form. So our come back to our login page, which is coming to index controller, and finally it is returning back to employee.jsp. With employee.jsp page, let us say we are not interested to display EMP ID to the user. We are not interested to display the employee ID. Let us assume that EMP ID is only for database purpose or to contact the database from our Java code. So I'm going to comment this one. But to send the information back to our controller, see, it's not required for us to retrieve the data again based on username, designation, first name, last name, and each and everything again in our submission method. Now we want to update the details, and we know already we have returned one model attribute, which is employee form. You can make use of Spring tag library. Spring tag library, you just need to import that. This is also just like your struts HTML tag library. Spring also, they have enhanced the basic HTML tags, and they have provided a tag library, and the prefix is form. In Spring, we don't have any kind of logic or other tag libraries. We just have only the basic tag library. And here you can see that I'm using the form from Spring tab library, but not the basic HTML form. We'll come back to action once again, why the syntax was like this. And the next one is method get. We are already familiar with this. And the next attribute is command name. The command name is your form bean to which you want to associate. So that means this is just like previously when we are using struts HTML form, we have associated struts action form within our form itself. In the same way, here also you should associate your command name. You should specify command name and associate your form bean at this level. Once after this, all the properties, whatever that are available, Spring will read and it will update the properties in this particular bean and provide it to you directly. But the requirement is See, when we are working on Struts application, when you specify employee form, it is not required for us to have the employee form created upfront. But in case of Spring, the employee form, it has to be created, and then only Spring will populate the data and provide it to you as a model attribute. So that means the employee form, whatever that you are using here, it should be created. That means you can only work on the form which was previously provided by your controller. So currently employee form was provided by controller.
Krish,
I can just, yeah.
Krish, in that same line you have mentioned form action equal to update $employee form dot employee ID. What will that resolve into, Krish?
I have mentioned that. We'll discuss about action in a second.
Okay, sorry, Krish. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. So command name you have mentioned as employee form. That means come back to our index controller login request. In login request, you have mentioned the model attribute as employee form. Whatever that you have written here, it will be bind at your JSP level. So now, whatever the changes that you made at this level, let us come back to our page. Let us change the salary to 7,000. Let us change the designation from lead to developer. Let us change the first name to lead. Once after that, if you submit, it will again traverse to another REST type of method. So currently, what is the method name? Our method name is update. We'll discuss about this one in a second. Our method name is, our form submission is with action update. That means it will go and look after for index/update So that means your update employee method will be called, and here you are supposed to write some data access code to update the details directly to the database. Currently, I haven't written anything related to that. I'm just displaying the information like what is the salary now and what is the designation. And another change is, here you can see that the update employee, we are retrieving a model attribute. This is another annotation, just like your request param. Model attribute will verify what are all the model attributes that are available in any of the scope. So currently your employee form was available either in request or session scope. Your Spring will verify the employee form was available in request attributes, and it will identify the name of the attribute, and it will inject the property, or while calling the update employee, it will forward the employee bean. That means whatever the updated value that was available with your last name, first name, salary, you will get the updated bean and you can access the data. So no need to write a single request params multiple times. Let us execute this one. We'll discuss about the path variable annotation in a second. So now I have changed 7,000 and name, and also I have changed the designation. Click on submit. Here you can see that employee salary received from the form, which is 7,000, and designation received from the form, which is developer. So you are able to get the updated information. Previously the value was 5,000 and the designation was lead. So now you got the updated data from the form, and you can directly submit the request to the database and update the details to you by using your DAO class. Currently, we have mentioned that we are displaying the employee details But while displaying the employee details, we have a restriction called we are not supposed to use primary keys on the front end. F name, last name, designation, and salary. You are going to display only these fields to the user, and you are not going to display the employee ID to the front end. Either you can just put the employee ID. Anyway, you got the employee form and it was available in request scope or session scope. Let us say you are not using the form bean and you are retrieving the simple parameters, first name, last name, and designation and salary. So you have displayed all the details and now you are providing update. User has updated some of the details and trigger submit button, which will hit our update employee method. As of now, this one is good. But from update employee, you are going to call the processor, which in turn calls your employee DAO, and it will try to update the data. But while updating for your Hibernate, it needs the fully employee object. That means it needs the employee ID while updating the data. Without the primary key, it's not possible for us to perform the update operation. That means your employee ID should be available all the time, but as a requirement, it should be available as a hidden field, but not as an exposed value. Your REST-based approach provides another option of forwarding some information using path itself. That means currently you are sending index/login, and once after that it will change to index/update. So to which employee you want to update the details, that also you can append to the URL. Currently I want to update the details for user with employee ID 100. This is also just like another usage which was provided by your REST-based approach. So to get the parameters that are available in the path, we can use an annotation called path variable. The path variable, by specifying the name of the variable, let us say currently the name is employee ID. Int employee ID. So this value is dynamic. You can specify index slash at your at your request mapping. You will specify this as /update. You can specify update /100 at this level. Reason for that is currently it was 100. It can change to 200 or 300. The ID value is dynamic and it won't generate as a static value. So to get the value as a dynamic one, if you have the value as a dynamic one, what you can do is you can specify that by using open brace and closed brace, and you can specify that as a parameter ID. So this will match the ID, whatever that you have specified, with the parameter level. Currently, our parameter name is employee ID. That means while returning the response, let us say index/update/100. Index will be matched at the root level and update will be matched at the lower level, nothing but your method level, and once after that it will see this is a dynamically generated value which is 100, and that value was already mapped to a path variable. Finally, your Spring framework will read the path variable 100 and it will insert, or it will provide you while calling the method update employee.
So many of our students have given testimonials on how our training programs are. You will find them on kudzu.com and on our website h2kinfosys.com. On our website h2kinfosys.com, you will also find more detailed information on who we are, the courses that we offer, what each course covers. Also, if you're interested in a demo program, please register on our homepage on the left-hand side. Just give us more information about yourself and we will send you a link for a demo class. The demo class is absolutely free. Experience our commitment by just attending an orientation workshop at no cost. Our team of faculty and advisors are here to guide you with the right information. If you still have more questions, please feel free to call us. Call us at 770-777-1269. This is a United States number. If you're calling from the UK, call us at 020-337-17615. You can also email us at training@h2kinfosys.com or h2kinfosys@gmail.com. Thank you for watching our videos. We wish you a great career in information technology.